Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another video today, and today we are doing my Florida State preview and prediction for the upcoming college football season. So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Help me reach my goal of 600 subscribers before the end of the summer. Like this video if you enjoy it. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below as I continue to put out previews for many of the college football teams. If you want your college football team to be represented in the preview, put your team down below and I will do it. Put your thoughts and predictions down below for the Florida State Seminoles, as it is a key year for Mike Norvell and his coaching staff. As always, make sure that you like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. So let's get started with today's video. So Florida State starts off with a interesting opponent, and the reason why I say interesting is because last year Florida State lost to Jacksonville State. This opponent is the Duquesne Dukes. I have this as a win, but like I said, we'll see how the season starts off, as it was very sluggish at the early part, but then started to get better by the end. So I have them getting a W here, but then they have a much tougher game coming into week 2. This Florida State team does have a lot of opportunities to present itself in the next couple of years. But if you have a losing season in your Mike Norvell, the Deion Sanders train is coming. With the top recruit in the country going to Jacksonville State over Florida State, that could really signal something coming into the season. The next opponent is LSU. LSU has a new head coach, and that is Brian Kelly, the former Notre Dame head coach. And even though LSU is kind of in a bad period, the problem with that statement is that Florida State does not have the talent, even with Brian Kelly coming in as a first-year head coach after a less than successful Ed Orgeron. It is going to be difficult for Florida State to be able to continue. So I have a loss here as they head into week 3 with a bye, because they technically start in week 0. Then you head into your next week, and that is a game against Louisville. Louisville is an important game in your schedule because it really could define your season. And if you're able to beat Louisville and start off 2-1, you have a couple of games that are really going to define your season. Like I said, coming up with games against Boston College, Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson. Then later on in the season, your schedule gets a little bit easier with teams like Georgia Tech, Miami, Syracuse, Louisiana, and Florida. So, I have this game as a loss. I think with this game being at Louisville and Scott Satterfield just as much on a hot seat as Mike Norvell is to a degree, I think that this is a big game, and I think Scott Satterfield will be able to get away with a win here heading into week 5 as Florida State plays Boston College. This game is at home, and it is going to be a must-win game. If you start off 1-3, that seat is going to be extremely warm, and you have to be able to get a win against the Eagles, a team that really struggled last year without its quarterback, Phil Jurkovec, who will be back. The problem with that statement is I don't know how much you trust Jeff Hafley coming into his 3rd season as head coach. Can he change what has happened in his first couple of seasons and turn it into something a lot better with the losses of Zay Flowers and most of the offensive line, like key pieces like Tyler Vrabel and Zion Johnson? Then you head into one of the biggest games of the season, your homecoming week technically, and that is against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons are an incredibly tough opponent with Sam Hartman as their quarterback and could display challenges that could beat Florida State. The problem is I think that this is going to be a defining game for the Seminoles. I think that they'll win either this game or at NC State, as both teams do have a lot of question marks at certain positions, but at the same time are very, very good teams, and I think they're the likely teams to win the Atlantic Division over Clemson and Florida State. So I have a win there. Like I said, I think you win either one of the two games at NC State or Wake Forest at home. I think that you lose the NC State game, partly because I think Devin O'Leary and that team is very good and can win at home pretty simply. I think that NC State is a team to be reckoned with, and Dave Doran has done a very good job. If you want to check out below, I will have my website link below, and I have the top 25 coaches coming out soon, if not already. So make sure you go check out my website and check out my top 25 coaches to see whether David Doran or Mike Norvell will be in it. Speaking of a top-level head coach, you head to your next week against Clemson, and here's the thing with this game. This is a home game, and it's at the Doak Campbell Stadium. Here's the thing that I want to make very obvious here. Clemson is a very good team. The problem with Clemson is this, and this very simple fact. They don't really have a quarterback, and let's be honest, DJ, even though some think he's gonna get better, the high probability is that he doesn't. And if he doesn't get better, then that probably means he's staying the same or getting worse. And if he stays the same or gets worse, well, then Clemson's not in a very good position because they would have to rely on either a grad transfer, Hunter Johnson, as like his 17th year of college football, or in freshman, highly talented, but so was DJ and Cade Klubnik. And if you watched my Clemson preview, you know where I'm going with this game. But here's the key fact that I want to lay down. This game is winnable for the Seminoles. This is not a game in which they will get blown out. This is not a game in which they're not going to be competitive like in years past with Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence being your quarterback. This is a team with no quarterback. This is a team in which you have a lot of transition. The problem I have here for the Seminoles is Clemson's defense is going to be very much elite. So the problem that I have is that can you beat Clemson's defense and score enough points? No, not really. So I'm going to still pick the Clemson Tigers to win this game. But if you can improve on offense and get some points on the board, Clemson is very vulnerable in that sense. After the Clemson game, Florida State heads into a bye week. And then they play Georgia Tech. And this should be an easy win. Even though Georgia Tech has made some improvements under Jeff Collins, the problem with it is that you're losing key players like Jahmyr Gibbs to Alabama. That's not something that could happen if you want a chance at winning these types of games. With that, I think that Florida State will get a win here as they move into one of their rivalry games against the Miami Hurricanes. I think that this Miami Hurricanes game is an L. It's at Miami. It's going to be a much tougher game. It's going to be a much tougher game than one at home. So I think that this is a loss for the Seminoles. But as the next 3 weeks are going to prove, I think they will all be W's. W1 starting at Syracuse. The Orange are not a very good team, no matter what anybody says. They're not. Sean Tucker is a very, very good running back. The problem with him is that he can't carry an entire team. He can rush for 100, 150 yards. But same as A.J. Dillon at Boston College, they'll win maybe 5, 6, 7 games. And I think that Florida State is just a more complete team than Syracuse. Then you have your final non-conference, you have 2 more non-conference games to end out the season, and those are against Louisiana and Florida. I think that you get a win against the Raging Cajuns. This is without Billy Napier, as he will be playing you in the following week with Florida. I think that this is a win. I don't see Louisiana doing as well as they have previously. Then, like I said, I think you'll finish the season with 3 state wins, as you will beat Florida and Billy Napier, even though I think Billy Napier is a good coach and could be a success at Florida. The problem that I have with the hire is, the problem that I have with Florida is Anthony Richardson is not as good as many people think he is. He's just not. That is my opinion, and I don't think it's going to change. I have them winning this game, but I think that this game is going to be a lot tougher as you continue throughout the season. So as always, make sure to hit the 2 videos down below and hit the subscribe button up here. And like I said, as always, have a great day. Bye.